Yeah, I think so. It's always a tricky game, isn't it? Obviously, you're playing against a team who sit where they do in the ladder, but watching their games, they're a competitive team. They do really keep fighting hard despite the situation they find themselves in. So, we had to come here and kind of match that enthusiasm. Thought we did a good job of that. Our preparation in the week was really, really good, and that reflected in our performance as well.
Some pretty good standout performances today, not just statistically, but the way they went about. We're trying to pick out Darryl Clark, we're trying to pick out Moses and Bai. Where do you start with the performance level today?
Yeah, I think across the board we were really good, and that was the challenge for the team today, but more importantly the individuals within it, to want to come down here and give a really good account of yourself. And I think our experienced players were very good tonight and led on that. You mentioned a couple in Darryl Clark and Moses and Bai. They were very impressive, but they were supported by a good many more as well. So that was pleasing from my point of view.
Were you conscious of getting a big score today? I mentioned it in the week. Did it come into your thinking at all?
Look, it's. I don't think you ever go into a game thinking we're going to score 50 points or we're going to. If you go into a game thinking about scoring 50 points, invariably you don't. What we had a real strong conversation around with the group is that if we commit to a real tough style of rugby, if we want to bring fatigue into the game, if we want to commit to our identity in essence, then there could potentially be points there for us. But also we're going to have to be good with the ball. We can't disrespect possession. All the things that you talk about when you play any other team, really.
I've got coaches like kneeling. Is it one of the things that sticks on you at the end?
Oh, it killed me. Yeah, it did. I challenged the team at half time. I said I like the 24 points, but I like the 0 even better. Let's keep it that way. So, and not Moses and Bai missing touch. That can happen. I thought we didn't respond well enough, and I just said to the team there, it was probably the one blot on the copybook today. But if we learn from that, it can be a positive moving forward. So, whilst I don't like it now, it might be a blessing in disguise.
Some aspects you play, close quarter, passing and support play, you must be pleased with that.
Yeah, excellent, yeah. We're doing a really good job of that, and Lauren's been hammering that message home with the team for a good number of weeks now to really support each other. And when you've got skillful players, particularly through the middle, guys like James Bell, who can pass the ball, Ignatius passing out, returning, who's got an offload, Curtis Sirin and Sione on the edges who can punch holes in the defensive line and get their arms free. And it's important that you are getting on the ball, it's important that you are looking for support play. So it's an area which we're challenging the team to improve on. I think we're doing that, but we need to get better as well.
You mentioned Darryl Clark before. It took him 14 games to get his own song. The crowd were really lapping it up today. How do you assess what he's contributed to Zenit so far in this half of the season? Yeah,
I think he's contributed what we expected him to. He's obviously a very experienced player, no Super League, been around the game a long time, but he's still got that sharpness out to dummy half, and he's a fantastic support player as well. And obviously, I think 3 tries in 7 minutes is evidence of that. So it's great to see him get his rewards. But like I've always said with Darryl, I think when he goes out onto the field and he commits to doing the tough stuff, if he commits to his defensive work, then the attacking side of things takes care of itself with him.
With Moses, this is quite an audition for the half-back role, and he's not a makeshift half, is he? He's showing what he can do in that position.
No, he's had a lot of experience playing in that position, and down in the NRL. And when we brought him to the club, we didn't bring him to the club to be a support act for Darryl Clark at 9 or James Roby last year. It was very much with the idea that he can play a good number of positions, and we're going to need him to. So I've mentioned this earlier on in the year, when in pre-season he trained a fair bit there and did a brilliant job. So whenever we feel that we need to move Moses into the half, there's certainly no hesitation on my part and to put him in there. And again, he showed today his quality as a player and what he is as well. People won't notice away from the environment. He's a fantastic leader. He uses his experience. The way he communicates to the group is excellent as well. And I think that he's certainly adding a lot to us.
Superb away for him. Well, how does it feel playing in front of that? And how important was it for you just to stick to playing a match rather than playing to a feel good atmosphere? Yeah, I
mean, I kept challenging the team to keep playing to it's simple, but actually we play our better rugby when we keep it simple, because off the back of that you maybe get offloads, you get some second phase play, and that's when some of the tries we scored come off the back of that type of play. So yeah, I didn't want us to get carried away and start trying to go Harlem Globetrotter. It doesn't help us. But I was really pleased with the fact that we were able to score some points in front of our fantastic away following in that second half, but we scored the points in the right way.
How's Tommy and what's he done?
It's looking like a bit of a plantar fascia issue, which he's had previously, I think, in 2019, which kept him out for around 4 weeks, I think. So something similar to that. Obviously, like we always say, we'll get the assessments done and see where we're at. But initially, yeah, it seems like a similar, injury to what occurred back then.
You're halfway there, top of the league, halfway through the season. How this is the tough bit now. The home straight, but well placed. Yeah, we're well placed. We feel good. Like I've mentioned the last few weeks, we've benefited from the breaks that we've had. Although we would have much preferred to not have had those breaks and be playing in cup finals. So, we've got to take that for what it is, though. Squad health isn't the best at the moment with the number of players that we do have injured. But I'm immensely proud of the way the playing group has pulled together through those periods of adversity, which we still find ourselves in. We're going to have to do that next week, and then maybe again for a few more weeks after that, until we get some numbers back. But what I would also say is that the players that are doing the job now, are really putting their hand up to stay in the team. So off the back of this little bit of adversity, it might just create a little, your squad suddenly out off the back of it looks a lot deeper. Noah Stevens, as an example, has come in and done a tremendous job, and all of a sudden, he's fighting hard to keep his spot in the team, like a lot of the other guys are as well. And you squeezed more minutes out of Ignatius today. Is that because you had a lot of the ball, or was that always the plan to give him that extended run? It was planned to give him more minutes, but I thought it helped him the fact that there was a bit stop-start with the tries that we scored in the game. So it was I think it was almost a perfect game for Ignatius to get exposed to more game time, but also get those little periods of breaks in there as well. So he was blowing in the game, which we knew he would be, but I think you're seeing his contribution, his physicality in defence, the way he carries the ball. I said it the week before. He's going to be an important player for us moving forward. We don't expect him to be perfect or anywhere near, near his best at this moment in time. But what he contributed today shows he's going to be an handful for us.
Mate, hat tricks for hookers are rare, but true hat tricks, like 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably seen maybe 40 years, maybe seen 5, 6, 7. It's very rare in rugby league, true hat tricks.
No. Yeah, it's very rare. And Daz just said in the dressing room, and he hasn't scored an hat trick, I think, since he was at Castleford a long time ago. So obviously great for him to get the rewards. Like I said earlier, off the back of doing the tough stuff in the game. He's a wonderful player, and his support play, and you see he's still got that turn of foot that's made him so dangerous for a long time. So when we brought him to the club, we knew we were doing it for the right reason, and he's at the halfway point of the season, I think he's been really impressive for us.
Then he ankle taps a centre with 2 minutes to go and 52-0 after he scored a hat trick. I mean, incredible.
Well, that's for me as a coach, that's as impressive as any of the 3 tries he scored, because he's showing the desire to chase back in the dying minutes of the game. So when you're doing that and the scoreline's 50 points to nil at the time, or 52-0, it might not seem as rewarding, but you're going to need those types of efforts when the score is 4-4 and the same time frame on the clock. So it's good for me as the coach to see you've got players who want to find those extra efforts.
Was there any conversation downstairs with the medical staff or Tommy about the seriousness of this, like how it compared to last time and that sort of stuff? No,
not really. It was just kind of a similar one, so couldn't really speculate too much there at this moment in time. It's obviously there is something there. But again, until we get the scans done, we won't really know much more.
Just tell the trainer I can't run.
Yeah, I think so. He knew straight away as soon as he's done something that he wouldn't be able to continue. So, I've got to pay huge credit to Mark Percival there. He's not a winger by trade, but Wonga went over to the other side. Mark Percival pushed the wing and did a great job. Kicked his goals brilliantly today and carried the ball, strong out of yardage as well. So, when you miss a quality player like Tommy Bakinson, you need somebody to step in that role and do the job to the same standard. And I thought Percy did that.
And Wonga got got Tommy's 2 tries.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, Tommy will sit there and watch that and think that should have been me. But yeah, it was great to see what Wonga. I think Wonga's really warm into the competition now, and we always said we had to be patient with him because he got to us late and had a disrupted pre-season. But his fitness levels are getting up to where we need them to be, and off the back of that, it started to show on the field.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.